Hey you, yeah you, are you looking for an escape? Maybe just for an hour to laugh, cry, roll your eyes, or even just have a minute to yourself.
Or ever just want to embrace your feminine side, and what better way to do that than have the color pink riding shotgun, as pink isn't just a color, it's a state of mind. Thanks Audrey Hepburn for that quote.
Then look no further. Introducing the new podcast, Truth and Pink.
We're Sarah and Channa, 1979 Gen X, strong. But more Zennials, that forgotten little slice of Gen X with just enough millennial edge to know what TikTok is?
But way too cool to care.
Hey, Truth Babes, what is happening? You are about to hear part 2 of our 2-part episode. We hope you enjoy and let us know what you think. See you later.
When he decided to go back to school, I was like, well, fuck it. I'm going to go too, because if we're both miserable, at least we're miserable together. Because it didn't make sense to me that he go for 3 years and I go for 2 years and then we're miserable for 5. That didn't make sense to me. I just figured let's just get fucked up together,
Yeah.
And so I was already feeling some kind of way at work yesterday, and he knew that. I came home. I did my homework really quick. He got home from work, and then he sits down and starts a show with Cooper. I'm like, hello? I said, how long is that show? And he goes, an hour. Cool. I'm just going to go to bed.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go to bed. Because, we literally haven't seen or talked to each other in 3 fucking days. And then you come home and you want to, talk to, or hang out with Coop. And how can I be mad that you're hanging out with our kid and doing something with our kid? It's selfish of me to be upset. But I'm upset because, this morning, he came in bed last night and, tried to, cuddle up next to me. And I was like, fuck out of here, bro. I am half asleep, and no, we're not going there right now. So this morning I get up, have my coffee, and I go outside, and then I come inside, and he's waking up, and I had a waxing appointment, so he's hanging out, and I was like, hey, let's just have a conversation. I wasn't mad, but I wasn't happy. I wish that you would. Again, this goes back to communication. I want you to listen to me more. I was like, I had such a shitty day yesterday. And he's like, well, I didn't know that. I'm like, but you did. I had texted you and said, I'm tripled and I'm having a bad day. And I'd worked for 3 days. And so I looked at him and I was like, look, I can't say these are unmet expectations. Because I think in our girl brain, we think about the things. We think about, oh, hey, he's had a long couple of days. Let me make sure that dinner is made for him. Let me make sure that this is set out for him. You were cognizant of the things. And I just don't think that they think on that level.
I don't know. I mean, I don't want to get Jeffrey by any stretch of the imagination. Okay.
We know your Jeff is great, okay?
No. In general, in a way of details matter to them when they're engaged with it, right? So in other words,
sure.
Jeff knows when the Padres game is going to be on. He knows when, these are things that they keep in place
that matter to them.
And
sure.
That matter. And I'm not saying we don't matter to them, but to me, it's I think they are capable. I think we give them a pass because that makes us feel better. I think they're capable of the details. Now, the caveat is, how much of that are we willing to accept and be okay with? And how much of that is a hard boundary to say, okay, I didn't like the way that you made me feel. I don't like to have to remind you we're married and not roommates. A little tiny bit of effort goes a super long way.
Yeah.
Right? Instead of a text, and he, before he left, he could have put a Post-it "I love you" on the mirror. And if you saw that when you came home, you'd be a puddle of goo.
Right.
You'd be goo.
And that never would ever.
How much of their brain to do that?
You're right. And I think we do give them this unspoken past because we're like,
I'm not hating on
they,
that.
no. I know. But like, again, it just goes back to like, I don't need you to think like me because I know that I have an insane brain.
Right.
I understand that.
Right.
And I don't want to be married to me.
Yeah, that's your
But
fortune, dude.
But I would like you to remember or think about the fact that, oh, hey, Shauna's been at work the last 3 days. We haven't had time to talk or anything. I can watch this show with Coop tomorrow afternoon.
A tiny bit of engagement. Even like I said, even if he would have put, and I'm just using this as an example, he could have wrote "I love you" in lipstick on the mirror, like whatever.
Mm-hmm.
If he'd have done that, you came home and saw that first, and he went and turned on the movie with Coop, you wouldn't have said shit. You'd have been absolutely fine.
Sure. Or if he communicated with me and was like, hey, this show came out. You know, Coop and I, it just came out today. I was going to watch it before you came home from work, but we couldn't because X, Y, and Z. So let me just watch this show with Coop for an hour and then I'm all yours, which he has done in the past. I'm going to do this and then I'm all yours. That's literally his phrase. And then I'm all yours. I just felt it like I was very, but again,
It was a little stingy.
it was a little stingy. And then of course I go through my head as I'm like laying there in bed and I was like, all right, but you did have a stressful day. So are you making a mountain out of a molehill right now?
And that's not okay either. That goes back to a tiny bit of engagement on either part. And not even engagement, a tiny bit of effort. The slightest thing is going to change the whole entire trajectory. Like the whole thing. I can't speak apparently. I have no words.
That's fine. Trajectory.
There's too many syllables in that.
Syllables. No, and so again, like I just communication and attentiveness.
Not even that. Again, it's just an effort. Just a tiny bit because you know that if he was working 3 12-hour shifts in a row, because let's define this. It's not going, and I'm not putting anyone down who has a stressful day but has normal business hours. I'm not saying that. But as a nurse in ICU working 12-hour shifts, I mean, hello, you've seen the pit. Like, hello, people, this isn't a normal job. Okay?
This isn't a drill. This is real life.
And I'm not putting down I'm putting my basic point is he knows what you do. Like he's not new. He understands you're working 3 12-hour shifts back to back. A little bit of oomph.
Right. So my win in all of this, and again, we're never looking to win or lose. But my win in all of this is, so I looked at him this morning after I said it, and and I go, now, do you understand the 3 years of me in nursing school by myself? And if I pulled away, or if I just felt meh, or if I just wasn't engaged, like, now do you understand? And he goes, yeah.
Wow. Okay, that's big.
Right?
That's big. That's big.
Because like I don't want to say he blamed me, but he definitely was, I think, a little salty by the end that like he just felt like,
He's lonely.
yes,
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Because again, only those of us that have been through nursing school will understand the trials and tribulations and just the stress.
I mean, you can say that about, going to law school. You can say that about getting your realtor's license. You can say that about getting your doctorate. Like there are things that are going to happen if he was resentful to you during that time. Like he didn't handle it all that well.
Yeah.
You are now having to rise above. You don't get to throw the fit, but you're like, hey, you could have texted me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't think he ever held anything over my head. It was just, it was a tumultuous time. And so it's interesting. So like, I didn't want to, so then this morning I was just like, now you get it, right?
It's so hard not to say, I told you so.
It's so hard not to say I told you so, but here I am saying.
I still don't think it's wrong to respect, not, there's that word again. I don't think it's wrong to do the bare minimum for your partner though. No matter what's going on, I don't think it's wrong to expect, because then what's the point? Like you can't even remember to text hi, like letters,
Sure.
like, you can't even say that.
Well, and again, marriage is communication and it's trying and it's hard, you know? I read this thing.
So mad at me. And I say this because he doesn't really have a level of being so mad, but it's his level. He hates it if I go to bed and I don't say goodnight, right? Because he's working 24, he's at the state, like I'm not, we're not in the same, area to say that. And so there's just some times where I finally loaded the dishwasher and I'm just, doing my nighttime routine and I just crawl into bed. And I tried, but you were talking about not scrolling. I tried not to sleep with my phone next to my bed.
Right, which is
So,
amazing.
right. So when I crawl into bed and the phone is out in the kitchen, I'm not getting back out of bed.
And
And
if you forgot to text your husband, he loses his ever-loving mind.
no, I wouldn't say he loses his mind. It's his version of being mad, which is just like he's butthurt. Like, hey, you didn't say goodnight to me last night. And it's like, oh, I'm sorry. You're right. I didn't do that on purpose. And it's like, okay, I don't like that you don't say goodnight. And it's like, okay, that's a thing.
Oh, that is thing.
Yes, he wants that. And it's like, that's the tiniest little thing that I could remember to do.
Right.
Right.
But every once in a while, so I can't. Forgiving grace, forgiving grace.
Right. Right.
So I read this thing today and it's 100% true. It said something, again, I suck at retelling stories and whatever, but
we're going to give it a go.
but we're going to try. Okay, here we go. Buckle up, bitches. So it said something about like in a marriage, you fall in and out of love with your partner like over and over again. Like you love them, but you fall out of love with them. And the being in love with them part is the fun part, is the all of that. But then life happens or whatever. And it's the falling back in love that takes work. That's the part of the marriage that takes time and effort and communication and the work. That's where the work is, right? And like that's just it. Like right now I'm I'm still in love with my husband and I know right now that he is also in that spot, but it still is work at times because life just comes at you and like
Well, I think it's sweet.
bizarre.
Are still like, oh no, we love each other very much. I will be very honest. There have been a few times in our marriage where Jeff and I were not in love with each other.
Yeah.
And it's a decision that you make where this is, there's no other alternative. So we just have to ride this
Wave.
Yeah.
Yeah. This awful wave.
Right. And it may not even be something that him and I have done to each other. It's just, this is the path we're on right now. Maybe there was outside influence, maybe work, whatever it was. Like, we're just going to be unhappy right now. And
Yeah.
that's what it is. And then something will bring us back together. And it seems so stupid and insignificant. Like, why were we, being catty and all that kind of stuff? But I feel like that we have so many different versions of ourselves. They do too.
Right.
Sometimes they click.
We change.
And sometimes they don't.
Right. And we're not the same person we were even 15 years ago, like the growth and whether it's personal growth or whatever, like we're constantly changing and evolving. Like this is also what I try to impress upon my children so they don't get married at 20 years old. Because I'm like, look, you're not the same person at 20 as you are when you're 30. And you and I have had this conversation, I think, a couple podcasts ago, and so your partner needs to be somebody who's willing to put in the work and change with you because you're both going to change.
Yeah. Well, I read even still, like, yes, it's nice to have a foundation of friendship. Yes, it's nice to have those, early months or maybe even a year of that honeymoon phase and you're attracted on every level. But can you go through the worst day in your life with this person? And what does that look like? because that tells you if this is your person, right?
Hmm.
What is the absolute worst case scenario that you can imagine? And how do they handle it? Did they close off? Did they retreat? Are they not there for you to support you and have that openness? Are they, not even like, are they turtling and they're not even paying attention to what happened? Like, those are things that you have to see in somebody to be like, okay, I can do this with that person. But those things usually don't happen in the first, in the honeymoon phase, right?
Right. And I think that as a parent, I now like this is part of like the I support my children living with their significant other before they get married because I want you to know because I want you to have that time and space and energy with that person so that you can make a more sound decision than, oh, we've just spent a couple nights. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like you have more of those opportunities to have those conflicts and have those bad days so that you know how you go through them together.
And I would agree with that part, but I am mixed on the whole thing. And it's really weird why. I feel like for me, I want there to still be like mystery. I don't want you to know my bathroom habits and I don't want to know your bathroom habits. And if we could live separately and not share a bathroom for the rest of our lives, I would be very happy.
I mean,
So I feel like my reasons for, like I'm saying, I agree with what you're saying.
his bathroom, the bedroom in the middle, your bathroom.
Yeah,
Like,
but
let's just build a house like that. I'm
right,
actually for
I,
that.
but like I also am somebody who really appreciates my alone time as well. So like you don't?
I hate alone time.
Oh no, I'm like
I'm not an alone girly.
God. I'm
No, tell me more about this alone time and how you love it. Tell me more.
it's not because I don't want to spend time with him. It's not because it recenters me. It does something. And like, I don't know if I could go back and do it again. I'm not saying I wouldn't live with him beforehand, but I don't know, maybe go slower, maybe figure out a time where it's like, okay, we can, you know, connect, but I need my alone time. I don't know. I need my alone time. I know. So I was just pointing out though the reasons that you think like I would be against that are not what you thought. Like I'm literally sitting here going, I don't want you watching me going to the bathroom. I don't want you like I hate it so much. I hate it.
Do your kids come into the bathroom with you? And by kids, I mean your daughter.
So when they were little, I could like I had like that's
Yeah. There's you close the door to take a poop, and your kids, you see the little fingers under the door, Mom, and you're like, please just leave me alone for.
I mean they always will like our bathroom's weird. It doesn't have a door. And then the part where the toilet has the door. So they have to come around and like come into the bathroom and then they see that I'm indisposed or whatever. But I would say they have full access to me. Whether they want to come in there when I'm doing that kind of stuff is a different story.
Yeah. Like my daughter will just if I'm showering, like we have a big walk-in shower with a giant glass door, but it's a big shower and a decent sized bathroom. Yeah, if I'm showering, she doesn't care. She just walks in and will sit on the counter and talk to me like it's no big deal. And
Yeah.
and like I think I can't remember the first time that she did it like more recently in like recent teenage years, whether it was like 13, 14,
Yeah.
whatever. And like I kind of had like a moment of like, oh, never mind, never mind. If I make it weird, she makes it weird. We're not gonna make it weird. And so then I was just like, okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I got the same parts she does,
Yeah.
so
No. Yeah.
I tried. Like that was like the whole don't make it weird.
Yeah. Don't make it weird. Right. Parents just make things weird, I feel like. Right? I just don't, yeah. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not because I'm prude or I don't feel like I'm not saying any reason like that. I don't need you to watch, like, know when I have to go to the bathroom. Like, okay, think back when, like, you know, you would like go on trips with a boyfriend or something and you would share a hotel room. Would you go to the bathroom there or would you like go to the lobby downstairs? Like, what would you like?
Or would you hold it all weekend and not go?
hope for travel constipation.
I think I went for option number 3, where you just don't go all weekend.
You just take all the Imodium you can, so you're just all stopped up.
Yep, I'm not pooping. I don't poop. I don't do those things.
I'm insane. So it's not because I'm prude, it's because you don't need to know that about me. I know everybody does it.
Everybody poops. There's a book. It's called Everybody Poops.
I get it. I just don't. I don't want to have you see that of me, and I don't want to see that of you. Okay,
I mean, that's
the magic.
well, there's no magic.
No, that's my point.
Because why? Because everybody poops.
Oh, no, I just can't. I just can't.
Oh my God.
This is so gross. I just can't.
All right. Well, I need to know
Yes.
if you're a psycho and you put the toilet paper roll the wrong way.
Well,
Because
I
if
know
you don't put the toilet paper roll over the top, you're a fucking psycho.
Psycho.
I cannot tell you. No, I will confess to something. I can't even remember where.
Is it that you're a psycho?
I will confess to something. I was at somebody's house and I don't even know who the psycho is. I don't even remember. I might not even be friends with them anymore. But the toilet paper roll was on the wrong way. And I'm like, you fucking psycho.
Am I on?
And I 100% undid it and put it on the right way. And was like, you better come to the dark side, because who does this?
So Jeff's thing, okay, because you were there.
I'm gonna pull.
You were there.
Yeah.
But before that weekend could happen, which obviously happened really, really fast, but before that weekend could happen, we had to have a full-blown conversation of, does ketchup go in the refrigerator or does it go in the fridge? Now, here's my caveat. I hate ketchup, so I don't give a where you put your damn ketchup. That's why I got the proposal. But it was going to be a make or break moment if I put the ketchup in the refrigerator.
Is this a Jeff thing? Because my Jeff also wants the ketchup in the cupboard. And I'm like, ketchup goes in the fucking refrigerator.
My gosh.
But also, because I don't like ketchup, I don't give a shit if you have it in the cupboard. And his thing, and then the kids will be like, it says refrigerate after opening. And Jeff goes, well, we don't do that in the restaurant. And the kids are like, yeah, but we use it faster in the restaurant than we do here.
That, and I mean, I don't know if it still does, but in the restaurants back in our day, right?
We married them together.
And they were in glass bottles.
Yes.
I just grow the stuff that grows on the plastic or whatever. But yes, that was a do or die, make or break. And mind you, we met in January. He proposed in June. Okay. So this was a very short time to know each other. Okay. And no, I wasn't pregnant. But we met in January. You were there. He proposed by June. But this weekend would not have happened
if
had I put ketchup in the refrigerator.
Yeah. So I'm so glad that you don't put ketchup in there. What?
His mom asked me too. Like, this serious thing.
Like, this is a serious question.
It was serious.
I need to know.
It was how I got to know, like, her funny side. I loved it so much, but it was a make or break. If you put ketchup in the
refrigerator, I cannot allow you to marry my son.
Yep.
So funny. All right, well then, I'm so happy that you and I don't give a shit.
I don't give a I hate ketchup.
Because yeah, at the end of the day, yes, guess who would win that battle? If I liked ketchup in the fridge and he liked it in the cupboard, guess who would win that battle?
He would.
Me.
How would you? No, I don't agree with that.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that.
I do.
I think
I would win. But because I don't like ketchup and I don't care.
Right.
But then
I don't think so. Don't you pull it out every time you put it in the refrigerator?
I would 100% be that catty and find it in the cupboard. And every single morning when I made my coffee, I would go, as I'm sipping on my coffee, I'd be like, and ketchup in the fridge.
I I see that for you, but I feel like because if he's like my Jeff and it was so important, I feel like that would be something that they would remember every morning to make sure that the damn ketchup
Well,
was.
then I guess the ketchup would be hot, cold, hot, cold, hot, cold, hot. Well, I guess not hot in the house. Warm, cold, warm, cold, warm, cold. We'd be growing some fucking botrytis for sure.
Okay. Speaking of growing, did you feed your starter?
Oh my God, Disco's looking so pretty. So first of all, she had like the hooch on top, right? And I was told by one of my friends, you cannot use it anymore. And then I did some Googling, and I remember you saying that you could use it. And I did some Googling, and then I went to work and I asked one of the other ladies who does a lot of it. And she goes, yeah, you can just scrape it off and use the bottom stuff. So that's what I did. I put it all in a bowl and I grabbed like some of the discard, the good stuff. I put it in there and I fed her, and she had like little baby bubbles. And I was like, okay, that's a start. And so what she told me, she was like, feed her. She wanted me to feed her every 12 hours. And I was like, okay, well, ain't nobody got time for that.
You could use her.
But
Only if you're going to start to use her.
well, I was going to use her today, and then my day got away from me. So I'm going to discard. But today was the first day that she like doubled in size and had big bubbles. So I was like, oh, she's so happy now. After being dormant for like a year, she's finally happy. So I'm going to discard a little more tonight, feed her again, and then feed her tomorrow night, and Saturday I'm going to make her. I'm going to do some pretzel bites.
Yum.
And maybe a loaf. I don't know. But for sure I want to do pretzel bites. Pretzel bites is like the goal.
Can't go wrong with sourdough pretzel bites. And
yeah,
babes, we're talking about sourdough starter. And if you're not having your own sourdough starter, you need to get it. You need to name it.
Her name is Disco.
Yes. And that way, I have a few, but the one I'm working on right now is Harvey. And Harvey is very happy, but I haven't used him in a while, so I need to.
So you need to like remake him happy. Yeah, it's funny. When you start, oh my God, you gave us that starter again 2 years ago. You gave us that starter 2 years ago. So I've had Disco for 2 years, and made a couple things, and she's probably laid dormant more than she's been active. But I was a little nervous about waking her up and whether or not I was going to be successful. But I was successful in waking her up. But let me tell you, right, the sourdough bread thing was a thing. Like everybody was doing sourdough bread and starter and everything like over the last 2 years. Like it's been like a craze on all the socials.
Look at me being ahead of my time.
It's like they're like, oh, you're in your middle-aged era. We're definitely, we all have starter in our
right. But can I say though, and I think this goes for like that Zennial, whatever, 3 or 4 years, whatever it is, you cannot define us with one label. Like you cannot, no, I'm serious. Like you can't say, oh, we're the homemakers of like how the baby boomers were. And you can't do that. Like we are so many things. You just can't define us, I don't think. And I'm still changing.
Yeah.
Maybe not for the better, but I am changing.
You are changing for the better.
I know. Okay, super quick. So, the girl that I had on Everything's Messy this past week, I just have to say really quick, incredible woman. Great advocate for T1D. She was diagnosed at 13, and she was in the Middle East when it happened. And apparently she moves back to like New York City at like 19 or 20, decides she's going to run the New York City Marathon. She trains for like 7 months, gets the blood sugar where it needs to be, like does all this stuff. She's ready. She's, going to rock it. She's all ready. She wakes up. She goes to get started. Like mile 3, she starts having this chest pain. But it's the whole mind over matter thing. She like tells herself, you've trained for this for 7 months. We're not quitting now. By like mile 16, she like can't take a full breath, but she's like, basically what you and I would tell ourselves. We're not, weak. We're going to keep going. We're going to finish this,
Sure.
whatever it is. She keeps going. Her brother had come into town to like support her to do it. It takes her like 6.5 hours to complete the marathon, which I don't know either, but I'm telling you, that seems incredibly fast, especially for someone who has,
23 miles?
I think it's, yeah, 26 miles or 23.
26 miles?
I don't know.
Somebody fact check us. Okay.
Anyway, so she finishes it. And I think she talks about how she was so worried to be the last one to finish. She didn't want to be out there at like dark, finishing whatever. Why? What does it say? What's it say?
All right. So are we saying 26 miles?
I think so.
And you said 6 hours?
Yeah, I think like the real fast marathon runners finish it in like 3.
Yeah.
Finished it in 6.
That's 360. Oh, hold on. I'm trying to do math divided by 26. That's a 13-minute mile. That's like a 13 and a half minute mile.
Yeah. All the while she feels this pain in her chest. So he finishes it. She tells her brother, she's like, something is not right. Something's wrong. So he takes her to like the real quick walk-in clinic or whatever. They do an x-ray and they're like, have you swallowed anything lately that like is, a big bubble type thing? She's like, no, I just ran a marathon. Like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then they look a little closer and then they see, oh my gosh, it's TB, which apparently is the particular TB that she had was the strain that is susceptible if you lived in that region.
What?
She becomes like public hazard number 1. They have to like shut down the clinic. She has to go to the hospital. They have to like quarantine her. Like all of these happening to
a negative pressure room.
Yes. So then she has to now be treated for this. And this goes back to, I appreciate the medical establishment for acute things, but the maintenance of stuff we are missing because she has to now be on this medication for a year.
Yeah, it's a year at the minimum.
It wreaks havoc on her blood sugar. And they don't care that she's at like 400 because they're trying to take care of that system.
Right.
They're just letting her blood sugars run rampant, which drives me crazy that they would allow that to happen.
Yeah, when I was learning about TB, I had to learn about how it messes with other medications. And literally, they're like, but TB's worse.
Right.
So you have to treat the TB.
Right. That's the primary concern. I get it. I get it. But so for a year, her blood sugars are like out of control. Poor thing is just,
poor thing.
She makes this comment about, she would call her friends after like she healed for a year and like figuring out stuff. And she'd be like, is this what it feels like to have energy? Because she didn't realize how bad she was feeling until she started to feel better. And it was like, this is why I advocate so hard for people knowing your body, knowing what you can do. You have to pay attention and we should be able to say, okay, that's fine. I can treat for this part, but we cannot ignore my blood. Like you can't do that.
Yeah.
There has to be a marrying of some sort that doesn't, have her wreak havoc on her because we're talking.
And where is that? Yeah.
Like all of these things.
Oh.
Yeah. Amazing story. Amazing.
Great for her.
Yeah. So the big part to this though is she's doing basically kind of an idea of what I want to do for the sports bra with having a pocket for the insulin pump and all that.
Mm-hmm.
She has actually a like lingerie line for type 1 diabetics who have to wear an insulin pump and they want to feel sexy and they want to look pretty. And so she's designed this whole line that has like different pockets to put, like you might want to wear a sexy dress, but where you're going to put your pump and like all this stuff. So her line is all about that, which I just love so
great.
Yes. So I'm hoping there's success for her and just getting it out and just being seen. That's all we want is to be.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yes. So
That's awesome.
Good story. I had to share that. So
Yes. Well, I love it.
Yes.
A little extra love in the TD1.
Yes. Yes. Because, okay, I get it. You have to take care of the TB, but you cannot ignore the blood sugar. You just can't. You just
I know.
can't.
I know.
It is, I think we're just starting to understand the antithesis of all of the systems that it does affect. And so to ignore it is just too much. It's just too much.
Right. And I feel like the medical world goes, okay, we're only going to ignore it for a short period of time.
A year?
A year just sounds like a long time too.
You can't be at 400 for like that's.
Oh my gosh, that's like like DKA for an entire year. That's bad.
Right.
Ugh.
Yeah. So
well, that's
found
great.
Her strength and she recovered and now
she has a lingerie line.
Now she's doing this line for all of us that have to wear these pumps. I literally mine sits right here on my throat.
Like right here.
I'm like the Iron Man because it's like right here, man.
Oh yeah.
So
well, hopefully you'll have the inhaler stuff soon.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool. They're also having, what was it, the 12 patients that went through the eyelid surgery that are now insulin free. Yeah, there was 12 patients that went through this trial that they're on the immune suppressant medication or whatever because they had these eyelid transplants, but they are insulin free.
That's amazing.
Right.
Let's see the data on that.
Give me some of that. Hook me.
Yeah. Sarah's like, sign me the fuck up. Alrighty. Well, I think that we have, you can tell we haven't been here for a while.
We solved all the world's problems.
If we haven't, we haven't even solved the problems in our own four walls. The world's going to have to wait. Okay.
Yes.
Anyways, thanks for everyone for hanging out and like listening and loving us and laughing at us and with us.
With us, yes.
Because we love this.
And I love it. And Angie, we're coming after you.
And got your number.
Right. Okay, until next time.
See you later, babes.
And that does it for us, Truth Babes. That is part 2 of 2. And we will catch you next time. And have a good week. See you later.